While this NFL season may not have been filled with a lot of offense, it certainly has been filled with a lot of drama, from Vikings-Bills controversies to Tom Brady's recent slump and resurgence. There's no shortage of news stories this season. In this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at some of these stories, including what Bill Belichick had to say about the Vikings-Bills debacle. Let's dive in. First, what happened at the Vikings-Bills game? The Minnesota Vikings recently won a game over the Buffalo Bills. While the Vikings winning over the Bills is nothing now, the way that game ended left a lot of people shocked. The controversy specifically revolved around a certain catch by Gabriel Davis of the Buffalo Bills at the tail end of the game. Some of the viewers watching the game live from their homes even noticed that something was a bit off about the catch. However, on the field, there was no review taken. Later analysis of the catch showed that if it were reviewed, it would have likely been overturned. But without an official review, the catch allowed the Bills to tie the Vikings 30-30 with a goal in the very last minute, taking the game into overtime. That's not to say there was never an opportunity for a review. There certainly was, but it all happened so fast that there was so much celebration of the catch that the Bills quickly moved past it and allowed the game to continue. Ultimately, it didn't really end up helping the Bills that much because the Vikings were able to win the game 33-30, but still, people were absolutely pissed off at how this would have easily gone another way. The Vikings could have easily lost because of the lack of a review, and losing a game at this stage of the season could have killed their momentum. Even if the Bills did earn that catch, the fact that a mistake could have been made is a pretty damning proposition. Clearly, something has to change. So, what did Bill Belichick have to say about the controversial ending? Bill Belichick is currently the head coach of the New England Patriots, and although his team wasn't exactly in the controversial game, he had more than a few things to say about how it ended. He said that the catch could have easily been reviewed and should have been reviewed because it happened with less than 2 minutes left on the clock. However, for whatever reason it wasn't reviewed, Bill suggested that it was either because the officials missed it or they simply didn't care and wanted the game to move to overtime anyways. Keep in mind that the coaches on either end would have requested a review if it had happened at any other point of the game. However, in the last 2.5 minutes, coaches are not allowed to request a review. It's all up to the officials from that point. But as we all saw in the Bills-Vikings game, that didn't happen. This plays into a bigger problem in the NFL overall. Coaches simply don't have enough challenging powers. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that the Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell definitely saw what happened out there on the field, and if he had the power to challenge the catch, he definitely would have. Belichick is of the belief that if all of the catches were reviewed by the officials right after, the Bills would have definitely lost the review, and they would have had the chance to score a last-second goal. Well, this specific incident may not have mattered much. There needs to be a way to prevent it from happening in the future. Up next, what did Belichick propose to fix the problem? Bill Belichick is rightfully concerned about how lenient certain NFL officials can be when it comes to challenging plays in the game, which is why he's proposing a rule change for future games. He said that it would be much fairer if the coaches of individual teams were allowed to challenge plays in the last 2 minutes of a game. He also added that if an official can't confirm whether or not a catch really happened, the game should also be suspended until it can be figured out and all camera angles are seen. But that's not all. Bill Belichick proposed far-reaching changes to how reviews are made. He specifically wants more power in the hands of coaches and wants the NFL to allow a lot more challenges than they already do. Currently, each coach is allowed 2 opportunities to make a challenge, but Bill wants that number to be cranked up. Some even want unlimited challenge opportunities in a single game, which might seem like overkill, but it would also eliminate any chances of certain teams complaining about unfair treatment. However, Bill added that he doesn't want to see coaches have the ability to change the course of a game with unlimited challenges. He was only talking about things like passes, interferences, holds, and other things like that. These are things that can heavily affect the game, but most coaches aren't going to save their challenges for things like that. He also showed support for retrospective challenges that could potentially penalize a team in one way or another. Overall, it's hard to see how the NFL could make it work, but something needs to be changed. Coming up, LaShawn McCoy talks about Belichick in the post-Brady era. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady both joined the New England Patriots in the same year. To many, Brady's unprecedented success was the result of Belichick's hard work as well. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that Bill may as well be one of the greatest NFL head coaches of all time. He has won his team more Super Bowls than any other coach in the history of the NFL. That's saying saying a lot. But at the end of the day, a lot of Bill's own successes were due to the sheer talent of Tom Brady. Without him, a lot of his accomplishments wouldn't even be possible. Brady proved he could perform well without Belichick by winning the Super Bowl with the Bucs, but Belichick has failed to help the Patriots reach the Super Bowl since Brady's departure. Philly Eagles running back LaShawn McCoy believes that Bill's success was more of a fluke. McCoy said that if you take Tom Brady out of the equation, Bill is pretty much nothing. Well, he didn't really say Bill was bad, but he said that he was now like any other NFL coach. There was nothing that made him better than anyone else, and there certainly wasn't anything that justified his $12.5 million per year salary. This isn't the first time McCoy took a shot at Belichick's coaching abilities. He famously said back in 2020 that it was over for him after the Patriots lost the season opener. However, McCoy still admitted that Bill can be a good coach. He just has a hard time believing the Patriots coach could be considered among the best. Next, Bill Belichick close to beating world record. Even though LaShawn McCoy may think Bill's record as a head coach may have been largely thanks to Tom Brady, there's really no one who can deny this man's sheer talent on the field. While there might not have been Super Bowl success for the Patriots since Brady's departure, the team is still all set to enter the playoffs this year, and they've also been winning more than a few crucial games. After the New England Patriots' recent 22-17 win over the New York Jets, Bill Belichick came close to beating one of the most important records of any coach in the NFL. He recorded his 325th career win as a coach, which meant he surpassed George Halas of the Chicago Bears to become the coach with the second most wins in the history of the NFL. The only other coach that stands in his way now is Don Shula, who famously led the Baltimore Colts and the Miami Dolphins from 1963 to 1995. In total, Shula recorded 347 victories before he retired. Of course, Bill has managed to get really close to his record in a much shorter period of time, so it's highly likely that we'll see him surpass that record one day. It's going to be harder without Tom Brady, that's for sure, but at the end of the day, Bill is still the kind of coach that can make almost anything work. And finally, why the Patriots have the best defense in the NFL right now. Even though in this NFL season we've seen a lot of great defensive plays, but one of Bill Belichick's greatest accomplishments since Brady's departure has been how he turned the Patriots into an almost unbreakable team. Their opponents only average around 0.116 points per snap, below league average, and only 36% of the passing plays against them have been successful. This was a very offense-focused team in the past, and while it still has a great offense, it's the defense where it truly shines. The Patriots allow an average of fewer than 10 points per game after halftime. Those are the best numbers in the league right now. It has gotten better this year, and it could even help them reach the Super Bowl. Well, that's a wrap for this video, so do you think the NFL needs to be stricter with reviews after a catch? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.